Are we live? Is this happening? Oh my God. So as we come on and we're here together, wow, there's so many of you here already. So here's what I want you to do as we prepare, as we wait for more ladies to sign up. Please share your name and tell me where you're from. I know, right? So literally, we are a global family. And I get goosebumps every time I do something like this because collectively we are connecting heart to heart. That's what I want for us today. I want us to feel like our hearts matter and our voices matter and what we're going to explore. Some of it will be edgy, but to feel that we're safe, to feel that we are held, right? So if you're that kind of woman that can hold sacred space, safe space for yourself and for others, I want you to type yes in the chat box. Along with, if you haven't also put your name and where you're from, please put that. It's so exciting. Yes, everyone is space holders. Fantastic. Let's do this together, ladies. We're going to go deep, right? We're going to go deep. We're going to go deep because this conversation, what I'm noticing in the world is that very few leaders are wanting to have this conversation. It's a nice thing to have like a kind of brushing the surface conversation. Many people are willing to do that, but to dive into the heart of it, to the artery, that pounding artery of the matter, it's not happening in many places. So it's important for me that this is a safe and sacred space. And look at all the yeses. I'm going to cry again. Woo! So ladies, some of you don't know me, some of you know me. Welcome. Today is focused on a journey of reclamation. This is it. We're going to go on this journey together. We're going to look at the 3 biggest challenges that I feel we are facing right now as women. And we're actually going to look how to transform that. So I want this to be an interactive webinar. You get to do a little bit of work here. So please have a pen and paper. A lot of yeses, more people coming on. I love it, love it. Have a pen and paper. You're going to need it. You're going to need to write some things, okay? Make sure there's no distractions. I know what webinars are like. We do other things. We kind of listen in the background. You want to engage. Here's why. I want you to leave in an hour, hour and a half from now. I want you to leave transformed. I want you, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to be so invested and so present on this journey here right now that you leave this call transformed? If you're willing to do that, say I am in the chat box. I am. Tanya's the first. Yes, I am. Boone from Hong Kong. Hello. Good morning. Patrice, welcome. I am so ready. Jamie, fantastic. Carla's ready. Amara's ready. All these beautiful women. Bridget, Jessica, Stephanie. Again, I can't read this fast. It's amazing. I am seeing all your names. I just can't say them all that fast. My tongue doesn't work that great. I am. Yes. We are ready. We are so ready. Yes. I am. I am. I am. I am. I'm so damn ready. I hear you, Gabrielle. I hear you. It is time, ladies. It is time. It is time to give attention to your heart, to your body. Let's push for a moment everything else aside. Just kind of literally take your hands like this. Do it with me. And imagine just kind of pushing everything else aside. Just for a moment. You can go back to it after the call. But just for a moment, push it aside. Put your phone on mute or turn it off. I've literally taken everything off. There's no WhatsApp, there's no Facebook, there's no nothing on my screen, just you. Full attention. That's what we want here. Because so many times we are at the bottom of our attention list, right? Sally says she's desiring transformation. Good, Sally. Hold that as your intent for this whole time, because that's what will happen if that is what you're holding to be true for you. And Tessa, she's brilliantly here. Yes, I love it. I love it. Sumir from Holland, welcome. So ladies, I have a few things I want to read to you. Before I go to housekeeping though, most of you, not all of you, but some of you answered the survey and the questions. And I want to share the results of that survey because it blew me open. I mean, talk about crying. Wow. So I asked the question, do you desire to thrive and feel safe in your own body? 99% of you said yes. 99%. That's almost 100. I'm just going to say it's like 100. Amazing. So everyone on this call wants to thrive and wants to feel safe in our own body. And I want to go beyond that. I'm going to bet that not only do you want to feel safe, you want to feel good. You want to feel at home here, right? Yeah. Do you have a Me Too story? This was the next question. 20% of you said you did and that you shared it publicly. Wow. That's amazing. So for those of you who have a Me Too story and you've shared it, just wow. Thank you for your courage and your voice. Now, 40% said that you had a Me Too story. 40%, so twice the amount of who shared, twice the amount didn't share. And here's what I want to say to that. It's okay. The fact that you're acknowledging that you have one is the biggest step, and we're going to go into that today. Whether you share it or not, I want to encourage you to share, but you need to feel very safe to do so. And maybe in a public way, it's not the place. But maybe with a friend or a beloved or a counselor or within a community that you deeply trust, there could be a space for that. And I want to say, sorry, it was 30% yes and shared, 40% yes, not shared, and 30% no. Now, I find this interesting statistically for this webinar because they say 1 out of 3 women will experience abuse in their lifetime. That's the statistic. But here we have 2 out of 3. And personally, I've always felt that it's way more than what we're seeing and what we're admitting to, right? So I just want to honor. I want to honor the journey that we're all on. I want to honor the wounds, and I want to honor the gifts that come from those wounds. We're going to get really into it today. Okay, so I want to go over, you voted for things that you would love. 76% of you said you wanted more pleasure. So this is a pleasure group. This is a pleasure group. Bum, 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 bum. It's a pleasure group. Awesome. I love it because we are going to be using pleasure for transformation. We're going to use pleasure for transformation. So 66% said you want shame-free living. Wow. 65% said you wanted body confidence. 64% said you want sexual confidence. Basically, a lot of us want to feel really good about our bodies and being in these bodies in a pleasureful way. 55% wanted sexual mastery. Congratulations. It's actually an incredible skill that serves you in all areas of life, not just sexuality. 51% wanted sexual health. 46% were interested in orgasm. I'm thinking it's much higher than 46%, but just saying. And then 42% wanted post-menopause bliss. This is amazing. I thank you so much for doing the survey because what it does is it gives me the living pulse of who's here. So beautiful. Now, I have, check this out. Can you see how small the writing is? I have pages, like pages and pages and pages of questions from you. I won't be able to answer all of them on this call, but here's what I'll do. At the end of the call, there will be a Q&A to specifically answer. If you wrote in a question, I may answer it in the Q&A. And if I don't get to it, I'll tell you that I will answer it, and I'll tell you how I'm going to answer that. So we'll just see, because otherwise we're going to be on this call for like 10 hours or something. But amazing. These questions touched my heart. I read every single one of them. And I will actually answer every single one of them. I'm just not sure how many we'll get to today. So in the Q&A right at the end, we're going to do some of these questions, okay? So let's do a little housekeeping here. Everything I do, everything. If you don't know me, I am Dr. Saida Desilets. Sorry for not introducing myself. I'm obviously very passionate. This is all about you today. And I love that. It turns me on so much to show up in this way with you. So I hope you get that. So many of us are tired of being kind of empty promises and all this stuff, and we're comparing ourselves. Can we not do that here? I want to just be me today. I want to be me, and I want to share my heart. I want to share the journey of reclamation that I went on. I want to share the skills that I have honed over the last few decades so that we can just, as women, no matter what our shape is, our age is, where we come from, what a color of our skin, we are women. The thing that binds us together is being women. And I want sisterhood today. I'm interested in sisterhood today. I want to feel like I am your sister. And today I get to be the one in the spot that shares my wisdom and knowledge. But one day I may be in your circle and hearing you share your wisdom and knowledge. That's how it works. That's how sisterhood works. Okay? So thank you for letting me be real today. As I was saying earlier, everything we're going to do here today is invitation only. Invitation only, ladies. So you don't have to do it all, okay? So you don't need to say this in the chat box, but I literally want you to raise your hand at home. Raise it up if you're willing to hear my invitation, to tune into yourself, and only do what's true for you. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to only do what's true for you? It is so important. Okay? So raise your hand and claim that you are the authority of your experience. Okay, good. Now, this is interactive. It's interactive, ladies. I am not interested in you sitting back and just, emptily receiving. I want you to lean in. This topic requires you to lean in. It might get uncomfortable, but let's lean in together. It's scary. My heart is pounding right now. Tears are very close to squirting out right now because this is very dear to my heart. And I want you to just take a big bite out of this moment and let it touch you. It's interactive. Have a pen, have a paper, lean in, try things, express yourself. That's why we're going to have transformation today. So, saying that, I want to just have a moment right now to include our beautiful body. So right in your chair, just shake your hands. Really shake, okay? So we're just going to include the body for a second. And I want you to take deep breaths as you shake your hands. Deep, deep breaths, full breaths. And shake your hands. And if you're alone and no one's hearing you, just If you're driving, do not shake your hands. But if you're here and you can, shake your hands, shake your arms, shake them out. Oh, and if you can, shake your feet, really, give their feet a big shake, a big shake. Yeah, you're going to need some hankies for sure. Shake the other foot. And then I'm going to crouch, shake your booty. Shake, 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 shake that booty. I love it. Okay, one more exercise to bring her into the picture. This is about her. It's about our beautiful she, our body. We're bringing her into the picture today. So ladies, what I want you to do is bring your fists up like this, elbows up. You're going to bring your elbows out to the side. I want you to spread your chest. You're going to arch your back, lift your chin as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, I want you to bring your elbows in towards each other and exhale and curve forward. Inhale, really big breath, big breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Big breath. Exhale. Good. And then the last exercise is probably the most important. If you've followed me for a long time, you will know this exercise. It's one of my favorites. So you're going to heat your hands. Did you know that your hands, when you're a fetus, emerge from the same tissue that forms your heart? These are the ambassadors of your heart. How amazing is that? Okay, so we're going to put the ambassadors of our heart onto our body. We're going to place one over our heart. Okay, so just one hand over the heart. You can put both right now. Just feel your heart, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. And tell yourself, I'm here. I'm all in. And breathe into that. And then I want you to take your other hand. I want you to lower it right down, right to the lowest part of your belly, right above the pubic bone. And if you're daring, you can even cup your own yoni, your genitals, whichever feels comfortable, above the pubic bone or the yoni. And I want you to hold this sacred place in your body. And take a deep breath. I'm here. I'm all in. And for a moment, with your eyes closed, feel this heart center in your center of femininity, your womb and genitals. And we're going to take a breath into both of these spaces simultaneously. Big breath in. And when you exhale, let out a sigh. Just two more times. Big breath into both centers. And one more time. Beautiful. That practice is very important. So as we're going through the materials, I want you to keep coming back to holding yourself in this way. This is a way where you can assure your body and assure your heart that you are present and that you're paying attention and that you're here and that you're taking deep, full breaths, life-giving breaths. So that's something I want you to pay attention for the whole call, okay? Are you willing to do that? It's important. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want you in your journal, with your pen, I want you to pay attention. I want you to write notes. If there's a little aha moment, if there's a gem that pops out, you're like, wow, write it down. Because at the end of the call, I want to know some of those gems. I'm going to ask you to share them. And when we hang up the call, you will have this list, this amazing list that can serve you in your life post this call. So please write those down. And I'm going to be transparent with you. At the end of the call, I will be sharing a way where we can spend more time together in a sense that's live, like this, interactive. And I'm also got something very special happening today. One of you, oh my God, one of you is going to win our VIP package. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you really quick. Our VIP package is exactly what it sounds. And we're giving away the platinum version, which is the top VIP package. So you will win private coaching sessions with me. There's 10 of those in the VIP package. You will actually win ways to study with me. So that will be made clear. I'll share all that at the end. And you will win just access to literally all my courses. That's what VIP does. It unlocks the door to everything. So one of you, it's worth over $6,000 US. One of you will win that today. I'm giving that away at the end of the call. But here's the only caveat to that. You have to be here to claim it. When I announce your name, if you're not here, I'm going to give it to someone else. So if you think that you are the VIP of the day, then stay all the way to the end when I announce this, because we want to be able to announce your name and have you go whoop, whoop, and claim it right then and there, okay? Now, even though we're giving away one VIP, we're giving away another 35 prizes. So here's what you need to remember. Sometime later in the webinar, I'm going to say the words inner rebel. Remember those words. And when you hear me say those words, I want you in the chat box as fast as you can to write, I am a rebel with 3 exclamation marks. That's the rules. I am a rebel, 3 exclamation marks when you hear those words. And we're going to pick the first 35, and we've got some amazing prizes for that. So I'll describe those later. But that's what's fun about this. You're here. I want to reward those of you who actually took the time to show up, who are actually going to stay through the whole experience. So very, very exciting prizes. I'm super, super excited. All right. So what we need to do right now is I want to invite your 5-year-old. Bring your 5-year-old right here, right now. This is the part of you that is playful. This is the part of you that has erotic innocence. This is the part of you that's curious and loves to have fun, right? So that's super important. So what I want to do is I'm going to do the first poll. Today I'm going to do a lot of polls because it helps me keep a pulse of what's happening with the group. Please vote. So the first poll is, are you ready to have some fun today? I want to see how many of you are ready to have some fun. Let's see. Oh my God, really? No way. 100%. 100% of you are ready to have, okay. I'm just like, yeah, that's so awesome. I love it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. And I just need to tell you a little bit of a story about myself because some of you have never met me. So if it is your first time meeting me, hi. I'm really honored that you're here. You could be anywhere right now and you're here. So thank you. I want to more share today about myself as to why I chose the theme Journey of Reclamation. You may not know this, but over 2 decades ago, I was told I had 2 weeks to live. This happened because I was violently raped, and it nearly cost me my life. The journey that I had to go on to reclaim my life, to reclaim myself, to reclaim my pleasure, to reclaim my body and my psyche and my whole being, that journey of reclamation was very powerful. And it's so powerful that I feel like I actually meet professionals who work with trauma patients, and they lean in and they say, tell me, Saida, what you did, because it's obvious that you completely have no trauma around what happened. That's where I want all of us to get to. Maybe not today, maybe not in this session, but as your journey, as you step in the journey of reclamation for yourself, and maybe you've never had sexual trauma, but maybe something else has been intense in your life. Maybe you lost someone close to you. Maybe you had a really horrible breakup. Maybe you had a betrayal. Maybe you lost a job that you loved. I don't know. Maybe it's just the witnessing of the amount of atrocity and violence is in the world, and that's hitting your feminine body in an intense way. So I want you to, all of us here, to choose to be on this journey of reclamation together. Now, what was important to me, what I discovered in this journey, is that we live in a culture that believes that sexuality is a commodity, it's a currency, it's something that we do. But I'm here to tell you, it is something that we are. We are sexual beings. And this orientation alone, if you can just consider that shift from sexuality as a currency, as a commodity, as something that we do, to something that we are, amazing. Amazing. So there's something, Patrice, I want to, I am here for you right now. And so all of you, do me a favor, because we are going to go to places that bring up stuff for us, okay? Here's what you're going to do. Can you see my hands? I want you to grab your own arms, and I want you to squeeze your body very strongly as you're hearing this information. I want you to squeeze yourself, your legs, your torso, your arms. Squeeze. You've got to stay here in the present moment. And in this present moment, you are safe and you are held. And everyone in this group is holding every one of us. We are all being held in a sacred container. So if you're getting a little uncomfortable, not only Patrice, but any of us, please squeeze and remind yourself, I'm here. I'm all in and I'm safe. Okay? And if that brings up tears, look what I have right next to me. Because I'm a crybaby. Okay. So the concept of being a sexual being is very, very important. Now, I hope that all of you feel very comfortable and very cozy. Look around your environment. This is the last chance, because we're about to dive in. This is the last chance to get rid of distractions. It's the last chance to rip off your bra and to free your breasts if you're feeling uncomfortable. It's the last chance of unzipping a zipper of a pair of tight pants or a skirt. It's the last chance to get really cozy. I need you relaxed, unconstricted, that your breath can be here, okay? So I'm going to do another quick poll just to see, are you ready to begin your own journey of reclamation? Woo! Thank you. 100% of you. How amazing is that? We're all here together. We're doing it. Beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies. I got to take a breath. Okay. So what I want to do now is have you do some writing, okay? So you're going to need your pen and paper. And I want you to write down just free flow thinking. We're going to just only take a couple minutes, so it's not long, but free flow thinking. I want you to write down your current struggle around being a sensual and sexual woman. What is it that what's challenging you? Is it shame? Are you confused? Are you shut down? Are you tired? Is there pain? Is there no libido? What is it? Let yourself write it down, because if we can get real about this, then we can change it. We can transform it. So please write it down. And when you're done writing it down, I want you to find one word that describes kind of like the theme of that challenge. So say you have a lot of pain, for example, and different pain things, and then write down pain as the theme in the chat box. I'm going to be reading some of the themes out loud, okay? So, so just take your time to write what your greatest challenge is, condense it into one word, a theme, and when you're ready, put it in the chat box, and I'm going to read that out loud. Okay, safety, safety, confidence, shut down, tired, fear, tired, pain, embarrassment, shut down, fatigue, sabotage, sorrow, no desire, tension, disconnection, sadness, yeah, anxiety, freedom, consistency, communication, shame, struggle. Can you feel, my God, can you feel solidarity with every woman here? That we're not alone in our challenges. And although some of us have different challenges, we're not alone. Numbness, hiding, dissociation, trust, boredom, yeah, resentment, illusions, yeah. Good, ladies. The more real you can get, the more we can transform. That's all I'm going to say about that. Very good. No, not open. There's no longing. There's pain. There's numbness. Fear of STDs. That's a very legitimate fear. Good. Good, ladies. You're very honest. I'm loving this. Thank you so much. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Keep writing those. And then when you're complete, when you've written yours and you start to see the truth of this group that we are all facing a challenge, right? And we're here together in that challenge. How beautiful is that? We're not alone. It's very important. So what I want you to do, ladies, is you're going to brush like this, and I want you to just clear away for a moment. Once you're complete, clear away, just brush and let go of the struggle. And we're going to look into something else. There's so many amazing comments coming in. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Good. So once that's there, this is information for later. We're going to do something with this later. Okay, ladies? Now we're going to switch modes. I want you to write down what you would love in the next 3 to 6 months, what you would love to experience. I want you to be very specific about a desired result that you would love. Be specific. Be specific, okay? Write down in the next 3 to 6 months, kind of let your heart open, vision, lean into that desire. What is it that you would love for yourself? And write it down, and then I want you to just share a word or two about it. So full joy. Yeah, beautiful. Softness, true love. Feeling all the parts of my yoni. Oh, I like that. Complete self-acceptance, freedom and joy, security, freedom of thoughts, intimate with myself and my beloved, safety, increased energy and vibrancy. Have my body back. Yes. Feel my total self, serenity, freedom, health, pleasure. Oh my God, you guys are inspiring me. Comfortable in my own skin. Happiness, joy, full body orgasm. Oh yeah. Happiness, health, confidence, a new love. Beautiful. So how amazing is that? Are we amazing? Or are we amazing? Or what? That's incredible. Keep writing these down. Again, we're going to come back to this a little bit later. I have an exercise around this. So we're just getting very clear. Cosmic orgasm. I'm open to love, feeling vibrant, full body orgasm. We are amazing. Yes, we are amazing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, ladies, I'm going to be asking another poll here in a moment. And that poll is to get us into the deep conversation of today. And I'm curious of those of you who have noticed right now that the climate around women's issues right now is pretty intense. Have you noticed that? Yeah, we all have. Okay, good. Because if we can bring our consciousness to what's happening, we're going to need to be very discerning. Okay, we're going to need to be very discerning. Here's what I'm aware of. Since September, for sure, when the Me Too movement really, the dams broke and all these things have gone. All these things have gone. What I noticed is that as beautiful as it's been to give voice, to have solidarity, to claim our story, there has been, unfortunately, a movement that I believe is led by our wounds. The movement predominantly is being led by the wound, and here's how I know this. Because I see a lot of shaming happening, I see a lot of labeling happening, and I see a lot of blaming happening. And as we're going to learn today, shaming, labeling, and blaming is a way, it's what we use when we want someone to shut up, whether it's ourselves or someone else. We want the conversation to end. But that's not our reality here today. We want to open the conversation. Okay? We're going to open this conversation. So there is a good news to what's happening, and because we're in a paradigm shift. We're being invited into something. I'm going to talk a lot about this today. But the main invitation that I see, then this is a question for you to contemplate right now. Do you wish from this moment forward, I get the past, but do you wish from this moment forward to have your wound lead the way? Or would you love that your sovereignty, your own essence, your own deep personal power to lead the way? We're going to need to choose, ladies, because to pattern interrupt, to change the direction in which we're going, to change it in such a way that in the future, when they look back, they're going to say, wow, that was the moment we changed as humanity around sexuality, around women, around our voices. That's the moment humanity got to recognize their wounds and started to lead with true sovereign ownership of themselves, where the wound is not ignored, but the wound becomes part of the power. That is where we're heading, ladies. So it's very exciting. And wow, look at all these amazing comments on this. Yeah, I totally love it. So for me, the idea of sexual sovereignty has become very important in this dialogue. And what I mean by that is you are the full authority. You have full autonomy over this body that is your body, in that no person, no place, no institution, no one has the right to decide for you about your fertility, your pleasure, your orientation, etc. Those decisions, those choices are for you and for you alone. And I use the word sexual sovereignty very specifically because as a global collective, humanity is terrified to talk about sex and to own that they are sexual beings. So sexual sovereignty is the key for us to really shift this paradigm. Absolutely. So today, even though I'm not going to talk too much more about sexual sovereignty, I want you to understand that it is at the foundation of this entire discussion. That I believe that you are sexually sovereign. I believe that you're actually born that way. And I believe with this innate privilege of being sexually sovereign comes responsibility. And when we engage in a responsible way, we change things. So here's what's happening. In a lot of the interviews I've been doing lately, people have asked me, what's going on, Saida? What should we do? What is this pointing to? Why are the leaderships, all the leaders being torn down? There's two reasons for that. One, we as individuals are being asked to step into leading our own lives. That's what's happening right now. That's why the paradigm of how the structure is with leadership is falling apart. We as sovereign beings must choose to lead our own lives. The second thing that's happening is as a collective, we are being asked, we are in a state of initiation to mature both emotionally and sexually. Right now, this is the unspoken invitation for all of human beings. So it is a collective wake-up call. Thank you, Nancy, for saying that. Absolutely true. So I want to talk about how the choice to really claim sexual sovereignty, to live as though that is the only way for us to be, right? We step fully into that, not only once, but in all our moments. Here's what happens. There's an amazing effect that happens. First of all, it's going to take a lot of courage, a lot of daring, because to lead our lives, to be sovereign, we then must take on defining our own reality. We must define what sexuality and pleasure means for us in our own words. We can no longer operate under other people's definitions. And I want you to watch. Please don't define yourself according to my definitions. Find your own, make notes, scribble, write. As you're inspired, get thoughts down. It's going to take so much audacity and courage for you to stand, take a big, juicy stand for the space where this body exists. And it's possible. It is possible, okay? So that's what we're gonna do today. Now here's what's gonna happen if we intentionally cultivate sexual sovereignty. I actually wanna read, I'm not gonna read the notes, but just read, like, I have some very important tips around this. The number one thing that happens is we actually optimize our well-being. Because when we claim sexual sovereignty, then we start to be concerned with healthy living on all levels, physically, emotionally, in our mind, spiritually, all the levels. We start to be concerned with it. And as we do that, there is an element of self-care that comes in for the body, quite literally. And as we perform these self-care practices, we literally induce oxytocin. We self-induce it. Oxytocin happens when we gather as women, but you also can induce it on your own, which is amazing. And here's what oxytocin does. It enhances our optimism. Who wants more optimism? Who wants more trust? It enhances trust. If any of you here want more trust, start that self-care of touching yourself. This practice of self-inducing oxytocin is important for our optimism. It'll enhance optimism, trust, self-esteem. Anybody here? Yes? And believe it or not, mastery. It's enhancing all of those. I mean, it is so amazing. And oxytocin is essential for resetting when we have trauma. If you've experienced emotional, psychological, physical trauma, oxytocin is key to helping reset, unlock the traumatic place in the body and reset it. Oxytocin. So some of the things that I practice on a daily basis on my journey of reclamation are self-inducing oxytocin states. We did it a little bit at the beginning when you put your hand on your heart and your hand on your womb and you closed your eyes and you relaxed and you breathed. You started that process. You started that process. Beautiful. Okay, the second thing that's very important that I find really interesting, and I got this from reading the latest telomere research, that relaxation, meditation, having fun, connecting with others, having a healthy sex life, whether or not you're with a partner, all helps the health of your telomeres. If you don't know what a telomere is, it's kind of cool. It's like, imagine your chromosomes. At the end of the chromosome, like a shoelace, are the telomeres. They protect your chromosomes. If the telomeres get too short, you age very quickly and you get sick. But here's the cool thing about telomeres. You can grow them back. You literally can grow them back. So by stepping into sexual sovereignty, adopting life-giving practices on a regular basis, you actually reverse the process of aging and illness. This has been proven, not by me, by a lot of different scientists looking at foundationally what is necessary to live an optimal life. Now, the third thing I want to say about that is by stepping into sovereignty and making this important, one of the things that we learn is how to transform stress into vitality. Because stress will not go away. We need to learn how to transform stress into vitality. We cannot remain in a stress-induced cycle. It's terrible for us in so many ways. We're literally going to learn how to transform that into vitality, how to self-induce the pleasure cycle, to pattern interrupt the stress, to self-induce pleasure. This is so important. And I want to say this because this is really an amazing thing. You and I, our bodies, touch your body right now, just go, oh my God, have a wow moment for your body because she is bioengineered to be uber receptive. You are bioengineered to receive in such profound ways that I can't even go into it right now. Bioengineered. You are a receiving magnet. And yet, we live in a world that is so intense. It encourages us to feel disassociated with ourselves. It encourages division between women and people and different groups of people. It encourages pain and atrocity. How many things do we see on the news and we barely react? But the sound of someone having an orgasm is offensive. We are culturally conditioned to be numb. And when we numb out, we block this incredible body from receiving the very thing she most desires and yearns for and requires for optimal living. Amazing. So now I'm gonna poll another question, because we're at a great place to poll another question. So let me pull that one up. Let's see how many of you are willing to choose your sovereignty over your wound. You're not going to ignore the wound, but you're going to choose sovereignty. 100% of you. Fantastic. Loving that. Absolutely loving that. Thank you, ladies. That's amazing. So to do that, ladies, is an act of rebellion, right? It's an act of rebellion. You're going against the grain. But it's none of our fault. The grain happens to be growing in the wrong direction. Okay? So I have found on my journey of reclamation, there's a moment where we need to make a choice. I know you're all saying you're a rebel, but I didn't say the words yet. I said it's an act of rebellion and we're going to be rebellious, but I actually didn't say the words for that contest yet. But thank you. Keep paying attention, it will come up. So here's what we're going to face. This is a choice you will be facing not only once, but in all your moments. You're going to need to face, to live your life through your own design, or to live your life through the ideals of others. To live your life through your own design, or to live your life through the ideals of others. This is a choice that you're going to need to face. Now, what's interesting about making this choice in a society that really benefits from you having self-doubt, in a society that tells you how you should feel about your body, how you should feel about how you look, how you should feel about the color of your skin, how you should feel about your pleasure and your orgasm and your partners and the this and the that and your voice and sharing, and you're too much and you're not enough and you're too much and you're not enough and you're too much and you're not enough. Can you feel it? It's insane. It's insane. And if we are aligned to living our lives according to other people's ideals, we're going to be stuck in that loop. The only way to stop it, is to choose to design your own life. Amari, thank you for your question. I see it. I can't answer it right now. Christina, can you mark Amari's question for me? Just keep it in mind for the end of the call. Thank you very much, because it's a very important question. So here's what happens. Most of us, unconsciously, we've betrayed ourselves so that we could belong, so that we could somehow meet this ideal, this external ideal. And the reason I know that this is true is because have a look in your own life. On a day-to-day basis, is your pleasure a #1 priority? Is your femininity something on a daily basis that you honor and care for? Right? That's how I know that we have bought into the external ideal. It's not our fault. So the invitation then, right here, right now, is to recognize that. That's all we have to do. We don't need to shame ourselves or feel bad about it. But if we don't recognize it, we're not going to be free to make another choice. Okay? So this moves us into what I promised to share with you today, which are the 3 challenges and how to transform those. But before I do that, I'm just curious. I have a 4th challenge in mind. I could share it with you, but not. I'm not going to do that if you're not interested. So just let me do a poll and see how many of you would actually like to receive a 4th challenge, something at the end that I could throw in. Okay, so you all want that. Okay, so I'll just make sure I make time that I give you that 4th challenge because I think it's invaluable and important. Awesome. So let's do it. Let's actually go into the first challenge. And you might want to write this down, okay? So our first challenge is that we're facing as women is widespread shaming and labeling. I've already touched in on that. But we have to look at this a little bit more, okay? So we are shamed in so many ways that we've become a little bit numb to it. We are shamed for being female. We are shamed for having a voice. So many of us don't speak up, and if we do, there's shaming that happens around that. We're shamed for what we wear. Why is it even important what other people think about what we're wearing, ladies? This is crazy. We're shamed by like who we hang out with. Maybe they're like unusual people. We can get shamed around that. We even can feel shame around how we have sex or who we have sex or how much times we have sex, right? Someone says, I'm too responsible for everyone else but me. Yeah, well, Caroline, this is part of the shaming of being a woman. Like if you actually go to take care of yourself, you feel shame around that. I mean, it's so crazy because not only do we can shame others and we're shamed by others, but even worse is we are constantly self-shaming. Ladies, this is insane. Okay, and I want to be really clear here that sometimes we're shamed for not being sexual enough. Sometimes we're shamed for being too sexual. I mean, I just see it across the board. If you have a female body, shaming seems to come along with that. And I want to stop that. We need to pattern interrupt that. We need to get really good at pattern interrupting that because for me, if we don't, we are going to collapse under the weight of this stuff. We're going to forget who we are. We're going to be functioning at just a very low rate, barely getting by. Barely getting by. Okay. Yeah, people are shamed for being celibate. I mean, literally, I want you, I know it's going to be irritating, but become conscious of how prevalent shaming is. Notice how much shaming is coming at you. Notice how much you shame others. Notice in your head when you look at a woman and you shame her for how she's dressed or what she's doing or her behavior or what she's saying. Notice. Notice when you're self-shaming, right? Because this has been intense. Okay, so I just want to see, because so many of you are writing, so instead of trying to read all the comments, I'll do another poll around it. I just want to know, is this been true for you? Can you notice the prevalence of shame? Can you notice that it's not only coming into you, it actually goes out of you, it actually is self-induced? Yeah, all of us. Yeah, good. So this is a very aware group. Trust me, not everybody's aware like this. So that's amazing. So, I've even been aware in female empowerment circles. Like, this is how crazy shaming goes. You're in a course to empower yourself, and the leader shames you because you don't get it, or you can't do a one thing, or you ask a question that's unusual. What? That's crazy. And yes, someone's mentioning men. Shaming is a human experience, okay? But most of us here are women, and I deal with women, so I'm addressing women's stuff around shaming, but it's definitely a human issue. Children get shamed, men get shamed. It's a human issue. But I can't even believe that in intentional circles that shaming still happens there. We've got to grow up around this, ladies. We've got to pattern interrupt this. We've got to stop this. Yes, someone said, I notice it even in female sacred sexual groups. Oh my God. Sometimes those are the worst groups. I am so offended when I hear these things. As a leader, we can only give what we embody. So we can have compassion when a leader is using shame tactics, because it means that within themselves, it's still very alive. They haven't shifted that pattern. Shame is pretty useless. Now, sometimes we're shamed too when we feel too good, right? We are shamed when we have too much delight, too much pleasure. We're smiling too often. I mean, I've had people say, wipe that smile off your face, quite literally. I mean, it's crazy, right? So it happens. And then as women, we get shamed a lot for aging, which is totally natural. Hello? We feel shame around the changes that happen to our bodies. You know, our breasts are now a little lower, things are changing, skin tone is changing, like hormonally we're changing, and we feel a lot of shame around that. Shame is so horrible because it shuts us down and it takes us away from living our truth, from being in our genius, and from really living a life that's creative and switched on. Shame is really at the foundation of that. So we're going to try and get through that because I hate that question. Like, how dare you feel so good, right? How dare I not feel so good? I am sorry, but you can take your shame and go home with it because I don't want anything to do with it, right? We need to get that resilient around it. And it's not always easy, trust me, but this is something we need to do. Now, right now, some of you on this call have had sexual trauma. And I want to address this because when it comes to shame, there can be a lot of shame around the trauma and the incident. And so what I want to say around that is, I want to take a deep breath first. What I want to say around that is that it is possible to transform. It is possible to have full reclamation. It is possible. Maybe this is the first time you hear that it's possible. Maybe there's the tiniest little glimmer of hope that it's possible. We're going to feed that. Because for too long, I mean, here I was in the hospital, dying of an STI from a violent rape. And the only thing that the staff could do was shame me because I'm dying of a sexually transmitted infection. It was a religious hospital, and I was the biggest sinner. I am dying. I need support. I need love. I need to feel good about myself as I'm struggling to hold on to my life. I don't need you to shame me. I already feel enough of my own. To heal, ladies, the journey of reclamation has to begin with seeing the impact of shame in our lives. Truly, I think that all of us here would love to just be more natural, just be ourselves, to have pleasure, to have sex, to be free in a shameless way. And here's why I know that to be true, because we were born shameless. It's our natural state. Shame is a learned thing. We are taught shame. So that's the great news. We can unlearn it. We can come back to our natural state of shamelessness. Okay? So that's the transformation. That was the challenge. Now the transformation, ladies, so you may want to write this down, is the invitation into shamelessness. Now, what does that look like? Because there's so few examples of it. So the first step, let's do this together right now. So the first step is to name the shame. Okay, so in your journal, you won't need to say this to anybody. It's just for your own notes. In your journal, just list kind of like the top 3 things that you feel shame around. Just write them down. Because when you name it, you can change it. Remember, when you give voice to it, you can change it. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that, because the more we can name that, then we let go of the socially mandated pressures. We let go of the socially mandated ideals and ideas. We let go of, and when we do that, something amazing happens, ladies. Do you know what happens when we start letting go of those things? And we're not going to wait for permission, right? This is another part of this healing, the transformation of shame. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for permission. And Catherine, I love you right now. I love you right now for saying that you feel ashamed about your illness. And I want you right now to just write that down and let it be okay. Okay? Just let that be okay. And we are going to personally give ourselves permission, because we're not going to get it from anyone else, to remember that we were born shameless. And here's how we remember that. Number one, you're not broken, so you don't need to fix yourself. If you're addicted to fixing, stop it. Fixing is not going to get you anywhere. You're not broken, no matter what's happened. And I can speak to this from a very embodied place, because trust me, the amount of car accidents, I've been blown up out of a camper and half my, 38% of my body burnt. I mean, I've had so many things happen in my life, but I am not broken. Who we are in our essence is not broken. We're going to return to living from that truth. So we got to stop fixing. We got to stop fixing. Okay? Now, Brené Brown does a lot of work around shame. Study her stuff. If you want to get through this in a really powerful way, the journey of reclamation isn't just what I have done, ladies. Our journey of reclamation, if you really choose it, you will start attracting and magnetizing all kinds of resources to support you. And they're worthy. And I really believe the work of Brené Brown is an incredible support around shame and courage. And she makes a clear distinction. Shame is always about who we are. Like, how do you change that? Guilt is about something we've done, and that we can change. That's why shame is so painful. So painful. So the first thing we need to do is, and I said it earlier, name the shame and notice when we use it. Number one, you want to transform this? Pay attention. And number two, you've got to start trusting yourself to make good choices. This is about trusting yourself. If you've been hurt in any way, you have broken in some ways trust with yourself. We've got to rebuild that trust. Trust that you can make healthy choices. This is how we transform shame. Okay? And in order to live a shameless life, we've got to curate our own experience. You've got to drive that. You are the authority. You are the sovereign being here. You are the creatrix. Very important. Here's also what I want to say, because part of the challenge is the labeling factor. And I hate that. I really hate it. I get labeled all the time. Currently, I'm an anti-feminist because I believe all women are powerful. Okay. I've been labeled being too straight-laced, whatever that means. When labels are used in that way, it's because we want someone to shut up. And when we believe in the labels that we were given about ourselves, we live that as our reality. So I want to give you this piece. Write this down. Please write this down. Definition creates reality. How you define everything is how you will experience it. How you define yourself is how you will experience the world. Definition creates reality. Nancy, I love it. I don't want you to shut up. I want to hear that voice, girl. So I'm going to do a quick check-in with all of you to see if this topic has landed with you. And let's see. I want to know how many of you would love to be shame and label free, like really take that on. Yeah, I thought so, everybody. Here's why I think that's important. If we don't take that on, then we just maintain that other orientation. The second we take this on, we start to create something new, okay? And that's amazing. All right, so let's go into our second challenge because we're already an hour into the call, and I want to make sure I give you everything before we go, away, because this is a webinar. It's not a full day seminar. It's a webinar, so I want to honor your time. Okay, so we'll move into the second challenge. Yes. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you, ladies. I love all your responses. You are an amazing, very interactive crowd. I'm loving this. Okay, so the second challenge. And I'm going to need you to breathe for this one, okay? Because this tends to trigger people. So take a deep breath, ground in your feet, wriggle your body a little bit. Let's do that together. Just like feel your feet, kind of scrunch your toes. This is a big challenge. Believing that we are victims to our experiences and feeling insecure about being a sexual woman. This is a big one. Believing that we are victims to our experiences and that we feel insecure about being a sexual woman. Probably the identification with victim is the one biggest thing that keeps us from fully transforming, fully reclaiming, fully learning from the trauma and transforming it into power. I think it's very important. So someone asked me to say it again. Believing that we are victim to our experience is a huge challenge for us, and feeling insecure about being a sexual woman. So this is, we live in a society that is kind of created around victimhood. And I think the intent of it is actually positive, like trying to help people and empower people. But then, you're a victim of incest. You're a victim of abuse. You're a victim of rape. You're a victim of this. You're a victim of that. Remember, definition creates reality. Labels, we take those on. And why this is so important to me, can I share something personal? I'm guessing I can. I think one of the reasons I healed so thoroughly of this, the rape was so violent, I almost died from it. That's not like it's a big deal. And I'm not comparing my trauma to anyone else. I'm talking about mine. Why this is important to me. It never occurred to me that I was a victim of rape. It wasn't until years later that someone labeled me that. And trust me, as soon as they did, I gave them back. I was like, you keep that badge. That is not how I see myself. Yes, I experienced a victimization of my body, a disrespect. I was raped. Absolutely, that happened. But I'm not going to carry that badge. I'm not going to wrap my identity around that definition. So, and if you do, because I want to say this so that there's no shaming right now. If you have identified as a victim, if you have used that badge, it's okay. Because like I said, we live in a society where that is the norm. It's normal. So if you have, you're just behaving like a normal person. I was abnormal. I was weird. And right now, I'm giving you the opportunity to take a deep breath. And just understand that when we use that label, it's a limitation to our reclamation. We use that label, it's a limitation to our reclamation. Okay? So let's do the squeezes, ladies, because a lot of us, we've carried this for a long time. Oof. I feel you. Like, I want to cry, you know? I want to cry. Here's what happens. Most of us, when something big has happened, we form an identity around the wound. And who we really are gets lost. And the wound becomes the dominant part. And it's interesting because this was true for me. The incident happened, and then I got to this place where I stabilized. So this part of the healing, and this is where you get, labeled the victim of something. And that's it. You're half baked when you're there. You're not done yet. The other half, the thriving side of healing, doesn't get to happen. Surviving happens, thriving does not. Surviving happens, thriving does not. This is very important for you to get. You've been left in a half-baked state. And if you want, right here, right now, you can allow the thriving aspect of that experience to emerge. But the way to do that, I don't know any other way, this was so true for me, is I've got to take a real deep breath. I am not my wound. We are not our wounds, ladies. These things have happened to us, but we are not those things. It's so important to discern. It's so important to discern, because if we identify with it, we can never be free of it. If we identify with it, we can never know our power in it. What happened to me, because I was able to have that full reclamation, because the wound, instead of being identified with it, I let it become a portal of power. I leaned so deeply into it that suddenly I realized I healed myself. I've got to share this with other women. 20 years ago, that's what happened. I never wanted to be a sex teacher. I never wanted to be an author or a leader of anybody. No. But the point of power of my wound brought that to me. It unfolded naturally. And you know what? I feel like women can receive from me because they get that I've been there. That's the gift of that wound. It's a bridge from my heart to your heart. And your wound has a gift hidden in it too. So when you can separate who you are from the wound, you have a chance now to not just be in survival, but to move into the completion, into the thriving aspect of the healing or of the reclamation journey. Now here's the deal. If I'm not my wound, it doesn't mean that I'm spiritually bypassing the wound. I need to embrace it. I need to own it. I need to hold and go, wow, what happened was so not okay. But here's what I know for sure. I will never let it happen again. And here's what else I know. I'm going to devote and dedicate the rest of my living days to discovering what the gift is, to allowing my truth to emerge, to celebrating the fact that I'm bioengineered for pleasure and receptivity. It's up to you. It's up to you. Remember, you always have the choice. You can let the wound lead. You can let other people define you. You can let society's ideals influence you. Or you can take the very audacious path of going, I'm not that wound, but that wound is my gift. I am not that. My identity is not that. It's very powerful. I think that what's happening right now, I want to explain something in nature. I don't know if you know this, but human beings are predators in the natural world. I'm not saying that from a negative point of view. It's just what it is. And I've lived amongst predators. I've lived amongst lions and hyenas and leopards and predators. Peacefully lived with them, did not become prey. When we identify with our wound, we adopt the prey mentality, and we literally perpetuate our wound. We attract sexual predators. We attract people who want to abuse us. We attract people who want to tear us down and disrespect us. So there is a reclamation here as well, to remember that you are sovereign. You're not this wounded animal. You're powerful. And I want you to remember something else. And this is part of the transformation. Your body is phenomenally powerful. She can heal in ways you've not even imagined. And I don't care how old you are right now and what you've been through. Your body is simply awaiting for the right relationship, for you to be in right relationship with her, so that she can use her full resources to come out of imbalance into thriving. That is always possible. So, but I just want to check. It's just a question. It's, don't worry about it. It's just for me to see, because I know it's been true for even me. I admit this. But have you ever identified with your wound and or felt insecure about being a sensual woman? I think it's gonna, I kind of thought it'd be 100%, because we live in that culture, right? We live in that culture. So thank you, ladies, for your honesty. I really appreciate it. So we are powerful. The transformation, you can write this down. We are powerful and our bodies are powerful. And when we reorient ourselves in knowing and trusting that we are powerful, we're basically giving ourselves permission to be resourceful. Remember, definition creates reality. Lynn, that's really funny. I guess your computer is like, it's proactive. That's hilarious. So I just had to say, it was a funny comment. But the power of our body and the power of our being, when we align with that, is unstoppable. And I know, because I shouldn't be here. I was supposed to die. The surgeon came to me and said, Saida, you've got 2 weeks. That was a long time ago. It was like 24 years ago or something. It's a long 2 weeks, I can tell you. But here's the deal. When we affirm that we are powerful, and we live that way, and we believe that our bodies are powerful, and then we engage in practices to support that choice. Notice the order of things. Then we engage. And look, if you don't believe you're powerful, your body's powerful right now, borrow my faith. Borrow the fact that I live that and I know it in every fiber of my being. Borrow it for now if you need to. But here's what happens when we engage in believing that we are powerful and our bodies are powerful. And then we do our self-care and we do practices. So part of my reclamation journeys, I did very specific practices to reclaim my vagina and my womb and my genitals, the pelvic floor, my hormonal system, that reclamation of the physical part. There had to be cellular repatterning. And here's what irritates the crap out of me. A majority of therapies right now for trauma are talk therapies. And I don't care how much talking you do. If you do not change the cellular memory, you're still holding the trauma. So by doing practices that virtually shift the cellular memory, there's cellular repatterning at the site of trauma, this is a priceless ability, right? Wouldn't you say that this is amazing? And so the key to this transformation is our power to choose. is our power to choose, and not just once, but in all our moments. So I'm going to do another little check-in here with you because I want to see. Yes, this is the question. Are you ready to claim that you and your body are powerful? You get to make that choice now, and then I want you to keep making it, especially when self-doubt comes in. Are you ready to claim, and I want you to write this down, I am claiming that my body and I am powerful. Claim it, ladies. Write it down. Say it out loud. Whatever you need to do, let's claim that. I'm seeing lots of yeses. Yes, Charlene, that is absolutely true. We cannot, if trauma has happened on a physical level, we've got to address it physically. And here's the thing. My passion is to share with women how to do this for themselves. Here's why. You're with yourself 24/7. If you have a skill to do this for yourself, you can apply it at any time. If you're reliant on a practitioner, first of all, it can get very expensive. Trust me, I've spent probably like $100,000 on healing modalities over the years. And the most powerful healing for me was to do it myself. I actually remember a moment I had a really bad vaginal infection that was affecting intercourse. And it was very, very painful. I just could not have sex. And it was around for a year and a half. It was debilitating. And it got very intense. And I went to see, I tried everything natural that I knew. I went to see doctors. We tested it. No one could help me. Doctors gave me every medicine you can imagine. I took them all and I was healed for a whole week, and then it came back even worse. It wasn't until I took a deep, quiet moment with myself and really listened and applied the knowledge that I already knew, but somehow, like I was teaching women this knowledge, but I wasn't applying it. I applied that knowledge. 24 hours later, I was healed. I believe that I got sick like that and healed like that so that I could say the very things that I'm saying right now. That your body and you are so profoundly intelligent. You're erotically intelligent. You're deeply intelligent. You have a living genius in all your cells. And anybody who claims that they can heal you, run. A healer will assist in the process, but you do the healing. You're doing it. Number one, it's your healing. So let's move into the third challenge, ladies, because we're getting in. I thought the call would be over by now, but oh my God, it's not. I'm just having too much fun. I hope it's okay. I hope it's okay to keep going. Is everyone okay that I keep going? Because it's already an hour and a half in. And I want to share, the 3 challenges. I want to share, we still got a contest to do. So I hope it's okay. Keep going. Okay. All right. All right. If you have to go, go. But I'm going to keep going. And those of you who want to stay, stay. Okay, good. So the third challenge, ladies, is numbness and apathy. Numbness and apathy. Write that down because it's a virus. Numbness and apathy are viruses. So write that down. So on one hand, right now, there's a catch-22, right? In the women's movement, we need to be powerful. We need to speak our truth. We need to be embodied. We need to be uber-sexual. We need to be multi-orgasmic. And on the other hand, we've got to be identifying with being victims, and we can't come across as overly confident because that's arrogance. And we can't totally express our sensual sexual selves because that's slutty. And so, oh my God, what this does, this catch-22, can be so, it can confuse the hemispheres of our brain so much that we shut down. We literally shut down. Okay? And we also numb out in the witnessing of atrocity and violence. There's so much of it. How do we take it in? Our soft, feminine bodies that are so receptive. And they're designed for pleasure and delight, receiving image and image and image after another of violence and atrocity and intensity and judgment and criticism and dissociation and division. of course, at some point, we're going to numb out and become apathetic. It's inevitable. I actually had a client where, as I worked with her, and she was a VIP, and as I worked with her, and she got more in contact with her pleasure, and she was having huge breakthroughs, first orgasm in 15 years, like just amazing things were happening for her. But she was so used to being numb and so used to having apathy towards self-care that in the end, the greatest challenge for us to go through together was to face this part of her. That her identity was so wrapped around it. In order to transform it, we had to really face this. But she was able to do this by moving at her own pace. And sometimes our own pace is very, very slow. Very slow. Okay. Now, in terms of like physicality, physical numbness, say numbness in the vagina or numbness in other parts of the body, if there's been pain, your body's protecting yourself through developing numbness. That makes sense, right? The good news is you can unwind that. You can become sensitive enough and you can retrain. I've literally assisted women to retrain areas that are, say, painful. We've retrained them by having the pleasureful aspects of their body teach the other part what to do. It's an amazing experience. So you can retrain and reprogram. It's pretty amazing. Pleasure, when you have apathy and you really don't care, that really dampens passion. It dampens your desire, it dampens your libido, it dampens everything. Apathy sucks. In Taoism, apathy is related to a heart fire that has almost fully gone out. And healthy heart fire is like enthusiasm, joy, curiosity. And then say for those of you either going into menopause or in menopause or post-menopause, there's such inertia collectively around just being apathetic that you're somehow not viable sexually anymore, so you should just forget about it. It's redonkulous, as I like to say. And I find that apathy and numbness are absolutely dangerous. They're dangerous. They disconnect us. Because we're bioengineered for receptivity, we have to engage our intuition. We have to engage our instincts. We have to engage in another language that isn't verbal, in the language that's being spoken between all living things right now. We are connected to that, but we've been conditioned out of that connection. When we are reconnected to that, we keep ourselves safe because we feel what's going to happen long before it ever happens, right? Give me a second. Ah, that was good. So how do we transform numbness and apathy? Sparking our hearts and igniting our feminine core. Write that down. Sparking our hearts and igniting our feminine core. How do we do this? The first step is to marinate in your own essence. To marinate in your own essence. That means spend time, literally unplug and spend time, and at first it's going to feel strange, but spend time honoring and getting to know, what is this essence? What is this sensitivity? What is this receptivity? What is this sensuality? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but your senses are how you make sense of reality. Sensuality literally is how we make sense of reality, ladies. So we have to have a hyper-engaged sensuality, not a numb-out sensuality. So having a daily practice where we're engaged in loving and nurturing and caring for and setting this kind of benevolent and respectful relationship with our body and our sexuality, it's part of how we're going to thrive. It's how we're going to become more vital. This isn't something that should be on the bottom of the to-do list. It's got to be number one. on our priority, because the more vital we are, the more alive we are, the more we can engage with life and contribute to life and start actually creating the life that we would love to live. Look at your life right now up until this point. It doesn't need to continue that way. It can keep getting better if it's been great, and we can unfold it in possibilities you can't even imagine. You can't imagine it. So for me, the other part of healing this is connecting with like-minded women, like we're doing right now. And it's not that easy, because what I find in the world that's very dominant is a huge collusion around pain, around powerlessness, around woundedness, around being unhealthy. Being tired and exhausted is like a status thing to like go for. And I'm not into it. I don't think I'm a really cool person to hang out with, because those are not my values. So I find my tribe, who are women who are curious about this, who want to lean in and have the audacity to take a stand, right? So that's really important. So anyways, that's why one of the reasons I've created like a global community of really powerful women, because I just had to create it so that I could experience it more. And I also love all the different perspectives that we bring in, right? All those different perspectives and all the courageous journeys that we're on. And when we are witnessed, when someone sees us and reflects that back to us, and when we see them and reflect that back to them, then, you know, there is this feeling like, wow, I'm fully and deeply alive right now. And I love this. It's so amazing. So as much as we are the ones that can shut ourselves down and numb out and become apathetic, we are also the igniters of our own hearts and bodies. Can you say that with me, ladies? We are the igniters of our own hearts and bodies. Write that down. We're just going to do a quick poll right here. Let's see. I want to check with you. Let's see. Are you willing to claim your heart and body? Because that's the question, you know, that's the challenge. Yes, I kind of thought everyone would be. Thank you so much for saying that. Amazing. So here's the thing. We can make a lot of mistakes, right? There's so many misinformations and crazy things, and sometimes we give our power away, and sometimes we're, you know, scrambling to try things. Like I'm going to be honest, earlier this year, I started to lose my hair, which was really crazy. And I went to see a Chinese doctor, and I went to see a specialist, and everyone was giving me their opinions. It was crazy. Do you know when I started to heal? When we did what we did today. Push everyone away, come back into a quiet place. And I told my body, I trust you. You've got this. And I just got that I needed to nourish myself and stop taking these million herbs and million supplements and million things. And guess what? My hair stopped falling out and started to grow back. Isn't that amazing? So we can make those mistakes of trying too many things. And we can make the mistake of treating ourselves and our bodies like we're, you know, this mechanistic thing. But we're psychosexual beings, ladies. The state of your heart and the state of your mind affects your body and vice versa. Yeah. So what's the plan then, right? I mean, I'm here with you. I've invited you into this. I hope that you got a lot of value so far. And what's the plan? So right now, the first thing that you've done is that you've shown up and you've participated in a massive way. And if you just consider all the things we've already talked about, you're going to have massive shift with that alone. With that alone is huge. And so for me, however, this is a big one for me. When I want to go for a big change, I need support. I need to create like an environment. So I literally like will engage with other people, or I'll do something to help me with the change, because I kind of know my own inertia and my own patterns. So I'm not sure what you need, but consider it for a moment. If you were going to really take on sovereignty and living in this way, what would it look like? What would you need? Like, so just sit with that for a moment. While you're sitting with that, what I want to do is, do you remember at the start of this, I asked you to take some notes of some gems, some aha moments you've had as we've gone through this. Would you be willing right now, just a few of you, to share a few of those aha moments? I would love that. Yeah. Yeah, Caroline, that's a big one, to really trust your body to heal this disc. Yeah, it's and your body can. And your body's talking to you. She's saying things. So listen. All right, so if you have some aha moments that you'd love to share, please just type them in so I can read them out, because I would really love to see if you got anything out of being here today. Oh. Okay. Is anyone else, can you hear me? It's freezing. That's too bad. You can refresh, maybe reconnect. Okay, trust your body. Great. Awesome. Powerful shift coming up. Anna shares that. Great. Inspired. Sexuality is not a commodity. I love that. Negative collusion of people around me. Yes, listening to your body. Power of self-care. I feel less alone. I love that, Sarah. I'm already whole and healthy. I just need to acknowledge my body's healing. Yes, you have the audacity to heal yourself. So I was asking for gems, some aha moments that you've had. Yeah. Trust your own decision. Our wound has a gift in it. Feeling validated. Yes, I love it, ladies. That's amazing. I want to share with you, as you're doing this, I have a few ladies who couldn't be here that wanted me to share their story of reclamation and what happened with them. I'd love to share with you a few stories from these women. So that's what I'm going to do now. You have, so Dawn says, you've been an amazing teacher to me. I've gotten so much from your book, from Jade Egg Mastery, from the immersions. You have opened the door to me to a world I did not know existed. And for this, you will always have a special place in my heart. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I've always felt safe sharing with you. Actually, your Facebook group is the first place I ever shared anything about myself. Thank you for waking me up to life. Wow, that's awesome, right, ladies? That's amazing. Here's another one. Johanna shared that for the first time in her life, she experienced an orgasm without stimulating her clitoris. This was so amazing that she says, it was so amazing for me as I never have felt anything than numbness in my yoni. An orgasm always required intense stimulation of the clitoris. I really start to feel this rewiring of the nerves in my yoni, and only after 4 weeks of the program. I'm so happy and very confident that I'll be able to progress more with time. Wow, like I had not read this yet. I printed out some things that some ladies who wanted to contribute to today sent in to me. Last one. This course has totally surpassed my expectations. I've never found a healing modality which is focused on the emotional link between sexuality and the self. This is the missing link for so many people ignore, and it is at the very heart of healing that I've been searching. The penny really dropped for me when you discussed how to generate a feeling of safety through integrity. And it's much longer, but that's all I'm going to share about that. So that's it, right, ladies? It's so amazing, like that we can, in this making of this choice, start to heal. And when women write me stuff like that, where they're having these transformations that they never even thought were possible for themselves, I'm always so happy. I'm always so happy. So Sumair said, when I identify with the label, I'm not able to harness the gift. Yes, exactly. Very powerful insight. So our biggest, the biggest obstacle right now to experiencing full transformation and I think our biggest obstacle right now is letting the wound lead and not allowing our own genius, our own intelligence, our own sovereignty to lead. And basically, I believe that cultivating sexual sovereignty as an idea, working it through as a philosophy, examining it through not only our mind and our emotions, but through our body, through practices, I think is the best way to do this. I don't know, you can do it any way you like, but that's what worked for me. And it's one of the reasons, all of this, the journey of reclamation, and one of the reasons that I understand why I created something called the Jade Egg Mastery was because I could understand that, my God, collectively, this is really unusual thinking. And collectively, these are really unusual habits. And collectively, there's not a lot of places we can go in where we can share what's going on for us sexually and emotionally and our insecurities, but also our power. So I wanted to create that space. That's why I actually created something called the Jade Egg Mastery Program. Some of you here know it already. Some of you here have already done it, and it's pretty amazing. But I have a live version of that, and the live version of it this time is going to focus purely on the journey of reclamation, because I see the urgency collectively right now. We're at that place where I want to take things that are conceptual ideas and really support women to make it real. So the transformation is absolutely real. So I want to see, I'd really like to know, is it possible, ladies, can you just give me permission? Like, I'd like to, can I show you some slides and talk to you about that program? And then right after we'll do the contest, but I think it's a good time to talk about it. Would that be okay? Let me just say yes. Amber, you're awesome. Just let me know if I can share that, okay? Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch over to slides, and I get really excited. So I'm gonna be super excited while I do the slides, and then I'm gonna switch right back to live, and then we're gonna do the contest. And of course, I've got that fourth challenge and transformation. My God, this is like a crazy call. Okay, thank you, ladies. I'm super happy that you're open to that. So I'm gonna switch over to the slides, and I'm gonna are you excited? I'm super excited. Okay. Yes, are you ready for an adventure? Because it's going to be one. I'm inviting you into my Jade Egg Mastery live program, ladies. We're going to go deep into our journey of reclamation together. It's your own unique personal journey, but we're going to do it together. We're going to do it live. Now, how do we know that this program is for you? If it is, if you desire any of the following: more courage to be you, to transform trauma into power, to be more confident and sexy and shameless, to ignite your libido, yes, ladies, to heal your vagina, self-confidence in any circumstance, to feel complete and alive as a woman, and of course to unleash that gorgeous inner rebel. So you get to choose, ladies. Socially endorsed behaviors, they create shame. We know this now, but we are born shameless and sovereign. But if we don't have a clear way to recognize and work with our psychosexual self, it's going to be nearly impossible to experience the liberation that comes from transforming stress and trauma. And yes, I am excited about this, because as we deeply explore, when we go deep into our psychosexual nature, we come into right relationship with ourself, our body, and our sexuality, while unlocking the hidden treasures of our wounds and our deepest desires, and we feel more attuned, aligned, and engaged with our central sexual self. I love it. Believing we are victims and others have the power, that is old and it is done. That paradigm is out the door. We are powerful and our bodies are powerful, yet without a clear way to access our power and master intimacy and trust with ourselves, it is difficult to create lasting transformation. This is what we're going for here, ladies: lasting transformation, and to enjoy satisfying sexual experiences every single time we have sex. Yes, exploring our different access points to pleasure. This is what we're going to do together, ladies, while training our body to relax and activate our pleasure neural pathways. This alone is epic, because you're literally going to be reprogramming cellular memory while expanding your pleasure potential every time you practice. Ladies, this skill alone is worth it. This is a lifetime skill. Trust me on this. Now, numbness and apathy shuts us down. It flavors and colors our sensual and sexual experiences. We're done with that. We are the igniters of our heart and our body, and yet, without a safe community, without embodied guidance, and without a true orientation to our natural selves, being ignited and switched on becomes an ideal instead of a living reality. And that is true, and we are going to make this a living reality. So the doors open today, ladies, and our very first live call is going to be on Saturday, May 5th. So I want to talk to you just a moment on what do we do? There's so much wisdom, there's so much information out there. How do we distill it? I've done this for you. Look, I've spent over hundreds of thousands of dollars investing in programs and teachers and travel and education over many, many decades of devoted practice and research. Sometimes I had to go offline. Imagine having to go offline for 1 or 2 months, like no internet, no work, nothing. It sounds exciting, but it's also a time where you're not earning money. And so the embodiment piece, investing 3 hours a day without missing a single day. Can you imagine doing that? I made a lot of mistakes and I had a lot of bad information, and this led me into some pretty bad health problems, and that cost me even more time and money to heal from those issues. So here's what I want to do. I want to distill the culmination of all my wisdom and offer that to you. You'll get the best of the best, saving time, money, and investment of like craziness. You don't have to go anywhere. It's all right here. So of course I want you to invest in this program, and the total cost of my Jade Egg Mastery Live program is only $9.97. Amazing. So here's what you'll receive: a 6 cutting-edge, content-rich modules, beautiful modules, 6 live group coaching calls with me. They're an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours long. They're amazing. They're dynamic. They're right in the moment. You get one-on-one coaching right on those calls with me if you choose. You're going to get your own Jade Egg Starter Kit. That means you get your own Canadian GIA certified nephrite jade, my book, etc. It's so amazing. I love this little starter kit. You will have access to our private Jade Egg Facebook group, which is really important, and private coaching within the membership site itself. You will know, you will feel me. I'm going to be there every step of the way. Now, there's some bonuses today that I want to talk about. For the first 20 of you, so you got to respond fast because this goes fast. There's a lot of us on this call. The first 20 are going to get a 30-minute one-on-one coaching session with me. This is very rare. I do not open coaching slots, so I'm very excited to offer this to the first 20 of you. Then we're also going to give you an exclusive invitation to join a closed-door 3-day training. This is an amazing thing. I don't normally open this to the public. Just a few of you are going to be getting this exclusive invitation, those of you who joined today. You'll also get my top 20 transformational challenges of mastering the Jade Egg. This is a guidebook. It's priceless. It's going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of frustration. I will also give you Cultivating Gourmet Relationship. This is a very important week-long training that's going to help translate everything you do on yourself, with yourself, to relationship. This is very important. And then we're going to discover Relaxed Arousal. Ladies, that one module alone is worth everything. It's so amazing. I love it. Plus, you're going to get an audio MP3 of the Jade Egg practice and an audio copy of my book, Emergence of the Sensual Woman, plus a 1-year membership to the Daring Project. Oh my God, that is so amazing. So the total value of the bonuses today is $6,403. $6,403 of bonuses. It's amazing. Plus, I want to give you, just for being here today, I want to give you a copy of the audio version of my newest book, Desire. It's not out yet, so you're going to be the first to get it by responding today. And I'm going to give away to 25 of you lucky ladies this same gift today, just for being here. So pay attention, because we're going to be giving that away. And so the total value of Jade Egg Mastery Live, along with all the bonuses, is $6,985. It's so amazing. And here's the deal. I will give you a 30 back, 100% full money back guarantee. Here's why. I stand by everything I do. completely. I don't mind offering this because it's very important. It's very beautiful. And so yeah, you have this guarantee. So it's basically a stress-free investment. So just for today, it's a one-time investment of $797, or you can have a payment plan. 3 payments of $297. How amazing is that? After today, the course is going to go up to $997. It's going to go back up to that. And I'm not going to offer a lot of the bonuses. Most of them will actually no longer be available. Definitely the big juicy ones, gone, not available. So why wait? This is the time. Receive the full program valued at $6,985 US. Amazing, for only $797 today, ladies, today. And you can also jump into the payment plan. It's going to be amazing to make this really easy for you. It's only 3 payments of $297. That's incredible. Plus, there's something really fun about what I'm doing this time around. We are going to pay it forward together. So by saying yes to yourself today, a percentage of your investment will be donated to the World Pulse Organization. They're an incredible organization. They are about change, not charity. They support women to be silence breakers, and they're affecting change for over 7.6 million people. I am honored to support them alongside with you, to support these incredible women. This is amazing. So as you invest in yourself, you also give this opportunity to other women to free themselves from oppression, from pain, and from all the difficulties. They're actually empowered to do that. So World Pulse is an amazing organization. So really, ladies, this is your choice. This is your time. Right now, it's your time. So click and buy now. Press that buy button. Buy now, join, get those bonuses, act now, and just like join this amazing journey of reclamation. It's the time to do it. We're going to change the world. We're going to do it by changing ourselves, by reclaiming our lives fully. So click on that buy now button and let's do this together. Woo! Am I back? Are you back? The slides are crazy. What happens here as you are joining and getting excited? Oh my God, people are joining. Woo! So what we're going to do, I'm just so excited. I'm excited because I know where this can go for us. I know that doing this together is going to be amazing, and I feel incredibly, just excited to do this. So if you cannot make the live calls, they're always recorded and they're available forever. Not only that, you get access to the archived calls from previous trainings. So you're getting like so much training, and these calls are actually very priceless because it's all my newest information. Every year I learn new things. Every year I refine. So every year there's new bits and pieces like contraindications with the jade egg. There's just new information. Plus this year's theme, A Journey of Reclamation, I think is really important. Most of us really, I feel, could use some support in understanding the steps and being handheld through the steps and having a like-minded community to feel safe and secure in. Challenge number 4. Ooh, this is something I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing this a lot. There's a lot of division and separation happening, especially with women, right? It's just weird. It's just, I'm not understanding it, but every time we separate ourselves, we lose. When we actually believe that we're alone, we lose, right? We saw that today, like just coming in a group that's safe like this, how amazing it can be, and we feel seen and heard. It's amazing. And I find it really hard sometimes to shift an emotional state if I'm looping when I'm alone. So I also lose in those moments. And when I'm not hearing the stories of others and witnessing others, I also lose because there's a very rich experience in hearing the unique stories of others. So give me 1 second here. Okay, so that's all pretty big. Now, one of the things I'm going to encourage you to do is to heal that division, to heal that separation. First of all, you already have some skills from what we just did. letting go of the blaming and the shaming and the labeling and all of that is huge. Designing your own life, it's huge. But getting genuine support and having real connection. Find your tribe. Find a community that you love, okay? So let's see. Yes. Whether it's my tribe or not, that's entirely up to you. But I want you to stay connected. Don't do this in isolation. If you are completely alone, sometimes women write to me and they're like, look, I'm the only person in my entire town that thinks this way. Fine, then come online and join the community online. At least it's something where you have a place to express and explore and question things that are useful to you. Okay, so, I think I have the top 10. Should I go into that? Anyways, just the last piece of that last challenge and transformation. Get support, find support. Let's just even poll around that, because I think that's important that you anchor. We all need support. We don't grow without support. So are you ready to be supported and be part of a vibrant, connected community? Whether or not it's mine, like, are you ready for that? And good. And so be intentional about that, ladies. Be intentional about it. It's very, very important. So choose that for yourself. All right, that's crazy. So congratulations. This is amazing. And ladies, this has been such an incredible time to spend with you. We've had a big day together. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And look, I want to support every one of you. Every one of you. You deserve that. So we'll be in touch with all kinds of ways that we can continue to support you. I promise you that. I will answer. I'm not going to do it now because there's just too many, but I will answer all of these questions. I promise you. And we will email you with those answers, okay? Thank you so much. If you weren't able to join today or you're considering joining, we will leave this open for 24 hours so that you can join in. What we're going to do is email you a direct link to the sales page so you can go over things even more thoroughly of what's involved so you can have that. So here's how I want to end. Let's all take a really deep breath together. And I'm so touched and moved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for you. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you for leaning in. I saw a lot of questions for you. So what we're going to do is, if I did not answer that question, I'm going to look at them and make sure I answer it, okay? Because there were some very important questions that you asked. I am so grateful. And look, a few of you said that it's literally impossible for you to join this for financial reasons. We'll be in touch about that too. If you want this and you really want it, be in touch with us. Remember, two things. If you really want something, there's usually a way. Second thing, every one of you who joins this is changing the life of women in third world countries, women who are really trapped in situations that aren't okay through the World Pulse. We're giving away a portion of what you invest today to that organization. It's super amazing. So if you really want this, there is a way, but you must be in touch with us. Tanya, I'm so happy you waited for the live course too. It's going to be amazing. This is literally my favorite time of the year because we do it. So all of you who really want this, you're not sure if there's a way, we need to hear from you, okay? We can see that you're writing it here, but we want to hear from you through an email so we can support you and find ways where this could happen. One of the ways we do this is we're going to make the replay available. We're going to have, all of this fun stuff. So one of the ways we're going to do this, we don't do it often, but if you send us 3 ladies who actually jump in and join the course, then you get to join for free, right? So what you're doing essentially is supporting us, supporting what's happening. There's some effort. You're encouraging your friends. Maybe you can all do it together, which could be really fun. And so that's one of the ways we do it, but we don't tend to advertise that. But if that's something that's interesting, then we'll talk about that. What I do know is my team will take care of all these questions. I deeply appreciate you. Have a beautiful time. Have a beautiful time. Stay in touch over the next few weeks. We are starting on the 5th of May, so you have some time to think about this and to join. You'll get immediate access. We're starting to open the community. It's a private, curated community. So there's some time. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. I love and appreciate you. This has been an amazing journey. My God, where did we go today? It's so incredible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you'll be hearing from us, especially because I got a lot of work to do. I got to answer all these questions. So thank you again. And thank you to all the women you all chose. I just want to emphasize this before I hang up. You all chose yourself today. And if I never see you again, and this is the only time we ever meet, I want you to know that it's been a complete privilege to have met you and to have spent this time with you, to have shared my heart, to have shared some ideas. Everything was invitation-based. You don't have to take any of it on. But if anything landed, make it your own. Definitely make it your own. And look, it is time to act. It's time to choose. Like if you really want this, let us know. We'll work something out with you, okay? So have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Here's to women who are sovereign and strong and beautiful, who are willing to honor their wound, honor what has happened, and to move forward into all the possibility of the rest of their remaining lives from a place of sovereignty. Thank you, ladies, with all my heart.